Terrifying witch horror movies that will leave you shaken. Witchcraft is a concept that horror filmmakers have used for decades to frighten viewers. In the realm of witch horror movies, each director has added their unique flavor to make one's skin crawl via various innovative methods pertaining to this trope. This video will portray some terrifying witch movies of all time that will leave you shaken. Definitely worth a watch.
Before we go into our list, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but it means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin.
The size of her blood! The size of my blood! Sense of the
The Witch, 2015. Set in New England in 1630, William and Catherine attempt to lead a devout Christian life amidst impassable wilderness with their children after being banished from a Puritan Plymouth colony over a religious dispute. When their newborn mysteriously disappears, their crops begin failing, and the family members start to turn on one another. None of them realize that forces of witchcraft and black magic have been bestowed upon them. The Witch is a supernatural period horror film and Robert Eggers' directorial debut. It is an alarming portrait of a family who unravels within their sins, leaving them prey for inconceivable evil. Robert Eggers showcases this Puritan nightmare by adhering to the tiniest era-appropriate details. The settings, costumes, and dialogues display his immaculate craftsmanship, and the film doesn't lose its touch of realism, even by incorporating eerie supernatural elements within the story. Although it transcends into the traditional horror flick, it paves the way for a potential new category, known as elevator horror, whose impact is delivered not through jump scares, but instead via ambience and scenography. Eggers exhibits this with his use of lighting, various camera angles, and themes.
Y que bendigas el...
Drag Me to Hell, 2009. A lone officer named Christine is competing with another colleague for a promotion in an attempt to prove to her boss that she is capable of making difficult decisions. She chooses not to extend an elderly woman's mortgage. The woman, who is now in fear of losing her house, retaliates by placing a curse on Christine, perpetuating a series of tormenting events for her over the next few days. This supernatural horror film marked veteran filmmaker Sam Raimi's much-awaited return to the horror genre. Raimi incorporates several jump scares and cheesy digital effects at the onset of this witch movie. It displays bright colors and visually appealing cinematography while building up the tension. Alison Lohman portrays the lead, which makes her an appealing, controversial character with enormous depth. Although the movie doesn't contain as much blood and gore compared to Raimi's past work, viewers can identify its nod to them with his trademark feature of black comedy. It blows the audience away with its practical effects, including green screen, puppets, and CGI animation. Moreover, it has excellent camera work and a breathtaking score by Christopher Young that transports viewers into the world of the supernatural. Blair Witch, 2016. This film follows a group of college students and their local guides venturing into the Black Hills Forest in Maryland. They are on their way to uncover the mystery of the prior disappearance of Heather Donahue, one of the students' sisters. This found footage horror film directed by Adam Wingard is the sequel to the famous The Blair Witch Project. It incorporates an array of freaky jump scares and suspense that keeps viewers at the edge of their seats. Wingard scares viewers using sudden loud noises complemented by the shaky camera to enhance its frightening impact. It is a modern take on the entire Blair Witch series, with tonal differences from the original film. Moreover, it contains logic with simplicity, but still succeeds in invoking an intense vibe. Its lucid writing and haunting special effects add to its eerie overtone. and its dread-inducing reality-bending story arc keeps the audience hooked. Although it is often compared to the first installment, critics fail to recognize its impact on the legacy of the Blair Witch Project. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016. While investigating the murder of a family, Sheriff Sheldon and his team are puzzled when they find a strange body in the basement that does not match the crime scene. He brings the corpse to the coroner, Tommy, and inquires about the case of death. Tommy's son, Austin, who was on his way for a date with his girlfriend, decides to help his father instead. It's a good thing that he does because they uncover some creepy secrets about Jane Doe, followed by a series of ominous events that endanger both father and son. Director Andre Øvredal creates an incredibly eerie witch horror film that portrays an outstanding performance by Brian Cox as the coroner Tommy. The plot successfully toys with viewers' emotions that modern horror movies do not engage with and exhibits a dark atmosphere. It has stellar cinematography that incorporates stark detail into camera techniques and lighting that leave the audience with the constant anticipation of something overwhelming right around the corner. Furthermore, Andre Øvredal intelligently uses the setting and special effects to make the characters shudder with fear, and by doing so, the viewers. It sheds light on a wholesome father-son relationship as a subplot, which comes as a pleasant surprise within the otherwise suspicious, sinister vibe. The Lords of Salem, 2012. This plot focuses on Heidi, a troubled DJ living in Salem, Massachusetts, when a mysterious wooden box containing a vinyl suddenly appears. Assuming it's the demo of a rock band, she plays it and is immediately transported to a past trauma flashback. Soon she begins having strange hallucinations and discovers that she is entangled with a coven of Satan-worshipping witches. Rob Zombie presents this supernatural horror film with a classic 70s psychedelic satanic vibe. It portrays Sherry Moon Zombie's best performance to date with an all-star cast of Dee Wallace, Patricia Quinn, and Meg Foster. This is a film with an art house feel accompanied by camera work that might invoke a nostalgic Argento vibe. Its use of colorful architecture and aesthetic background scenery makes it a visually stunning film. It has been influenced by several classic horror movies and contains a vibrant storyline. Viewers especially enjoy this film because it has a different tone compared to Rob Zombie's past works. It incorporates a mature, stylish, and unsettling premise revolving around witchcraft, rather than his typical edgy vanilla characters. Overall, if viewers seek a movie with a blend of witchcraft and Satanism, this movie is undoubtedly worth watching. The Wretched, 2019. A rebellious teenage boy struggles with his parents' divorce when he suddenly finds himself facing a 1,000-year-old witch posing as their next-door neighbor. This supernatural horror film, directed by the Pierce brothers, has the perfect combination of a likable protagonist, decent practical effects, and a brisk pace. Although the plot is simple for a horror film, it is intriguing and keeps viewers engaged with its visual and sound effects. It presents good acting and has an excellent opening sequence. The Pierce brothers created a concise film with no unnecessary explanations or overwhelming impact. It managed to invoke a creepy vibe throughout, and the story has a coming-of-age feel with careful attention to makeup and special effects. Suspiria, 2018. Susie Banyan, a young American ballerina, travels to Berlin to study at the Marcos Tanz Company, one of the world's most renowned dance schools. On her first day, she learns that one of the students, named Pat, who had recently been expelled, is murdered. Soon she realizes that this wasn't a singular occurrence. Her suspicion increases when one of the other girls tells her that Pat was guarding a dark secret. This remake of Dario Argento's 1977 masterpiece expands upon the folklore of his Three Mothers trilogy. It contains a great cast consisting of talented actors like Dakota Johnson and Tilda Swinton in lead roles, and has a coherent dramatic plot accompanied by a logical climax. Director Luca Guadagnino creates a dour, political horror epic with a rather bleak tone. He incorporates two important themes, falsifying the sentiment of motherhood and the link between spiritualism and art form, making it a very thought-provoking watch for viewers. Every shot showcases its gorgeous cinematography, and it is also accompanied by a somber musical score. Although it isn't an exact rendition of Argento's work, it is certainly an expansion of the same, which can be interpreted differently. Hereditary, 2018. After Annie's mother passes away, she, with her husband and children, mourn her passing. The family adopts different methods of processing their grief, leading Annie and her daughter to both engage with the supernatural. This leads them to have otherworldly experiences attached to sinister secrets and emotional trauma that they learn have been passed down through generations within their family. This modern-day masterpiece directed by Ari Aster is a tension-filled, thrill-inducing witch horror movie with elements of the occult. It makes viewers undergo a spectrum of emotions that range from sheer terror to absolute hopelessness and sorrow. It has a dark atmosphere for most of the film and top-notch cinematography to accompany its chilling vibe. Toni Collette, Millie Shapiro, and Alex Wolff all portray outstanding performances that truly sell the grim personality that overtakes the entire household after the matriarch's death. Although this film doesn't have too much blood and gore, it displays sufficient violence and caters to all aspects of viewers' emotions with nuanced characters. Moreover, it realistically shows the lengths that people can spiral to after losing a loved one and succumbing to trauma or mental illness. Overall, it is a fantastically modern witch horror movie and a must-watch. The Blair Witch Project, 1999. 3 amateur student filmmakers, Heather Donahue, Michael Williams, and Joshua Leonard, hike into Black Hills Forest to find the fabled Blair Witch. A year after their adventure, there is no sign of the 3 students besides the raw footage they left behind. After viewing this footage, people shudder to think about what became of the trio within the dark woods. This found footage horror film, directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, breaks all the conventions of a feature film and is a masterpiece of the found footage horror genre. Even without an all-star cast, exotic filming locations, and over-the-top special effects, it showcases brilliant performances by the actors. They share an intimate experience with viewers based on an excellent script. The acting is very authentic, and the slow progression into hysteria is well documented. Despite the shaky camera, the characters' reactions and fear are captured well. Moreover, viewers can empathize with the despair they feel as they realize the direness of their situation, and directors make no compromise with the delivery of dialogues. Being a found footage film, one of the most important aspects is its editing style, which was flawless and made it a movie with a large cult following. Mark of the Devil, 1970. This film is set in the 18th century and portrays Count Christian von Muir, a witch hunter apprenticed to Lord Cumberland. He strongly believes in his mentor in the church until one day when he catches Lord Cumberland committing a crime. Soon, Count Christian begins to see the church's rituals and practices for the sham they are, including the witch trials they conduct. He witnesses the injustices of merely robbing innocent people of their land, money, and terrorizing women. This German horror film, directed by Michael Armstrong, is known for its severe graphic violence and torture. As he endeavors to expose the era's cruelties, he incorporates elements of exploitative shock in this film. that sends chills down viewers' spines. To contrast gruesome shots of abuse and torture, it has beautifully shot scenes and high production value. Moreover, Michael Holmes' remarkable score sways the viewers in this work of art. It is also a commentary on the perversion of so-called honorable men and the institute of clergymen in that era that satisfied their prejudice and lust by using women as scapegoats and torturing them in the name of God. The film is shot in a breathtaking location with gorgeous sceneries and showcases an outstanding performance by Udo Kier. Overall, it is a fantastic European exploitation film with a massive cult following.
This is all the time we had for today's episode. We hope you guys liked it. It would be awesome if you guys can take some time to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to tell us which topic you want us to cover in the comment section. Have a fantastic day ahead and stay safe.